All right, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, up next, got a family member on the phone, host of the First Take on ESPN2. And from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern every weekday, he hosts the ESPN Radio Afternoon Show. Weekdays from 1 to 3 Eastern. Let's get his expert opinion on what's going on in March Madness. I ain't really worried about that. I'm talking about the NBA, baby. Stephen A. Smith.
Woohoo!
What's going on, y'all?
Stephen A.
Yeah, man, March Madness is cool. Let's go and cover it briefly then, Stephen. What's happening what's happening with it? Is there a Cinderella team out there? Who gonna win it all? What you think?
Well, the Cinderella team is some team named Florida Gulf Coast.
Yes.
They upset Georgetown in the first round, and they're en route to the Sweet 16 after yesterday's victory. Nobody saw them coming. They're the first 15th seed to advance to the Sweet 16 in NCAA history. We'll see what they do, but Indiana's still around. They survived Temple yesterday. Kansas is around. They beat North Carolina. Louisville is around. They're balling. Michigan is not a team to be ignored. So there's a lot of quality teams in the NCAA, but you've got enough excitement from the underdog, which is what March Madness is all about, because you still got a couple of teams that are making that kind of noise.
Let me see what you think, man. Who did I pick for Final Four? Final Four, I picked Louisville, Ohio State, Indiana. I had Georgetown as the sleeper, but I'm replacing them.
Well, I messed up because I thought Wisconsin would be there. They would shock everybody, but I still have Louisville, Kansas, and Miami going to the Final Four. And believe it or not, I picked Miami to win the national championship as well.
Man, I sure hope you're right. That would do me good. Miami or Louisville?
Well, Louisville plays some. Rick Pitino has them, but they play some real tenacious defense. They get up in you. There's no doubt about it. Miami's pretty much a sentimental pick. I like that kid, Shane Larkin. He can really, really ball. He's an elite guard in this game, and I think that's what it takes to win in the NCAA tournament. But it's more of an educated guess than anything else, because when you cover in the NBA as much as I do, you get to watch a few college basketball games, but you don't see them religiously the way you do the NBA games.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's get to it then. NBA. Who will come out the West to face Miami in the championship game?
Right now, it looks like San Antonio. Memphis is not a team to ignore. You got to pay attention to them. There's something to be reckoned with. Oklahoma City, I've lost faith in, and here's why. They have the talent, but at the same time, when you lose a stud like James Harden, who's now in Houston, balling, you have to remember that in order to offset that, Kevin Durant, who's a superstar of the highest order, has to step up and be more aggressive. I watched him against San Antonio a couple of weeks ago when they lost to San Antonio. Kevin Durant is the three-time league scoring champion, all right, and is the scoring leader right now, averaging more than 28 a game. And here he is taking 13 shots in a game, even though he shoots 51% from the field, while Russell Westbrook, who is hovering around 41, 42% of the time, took 27 shots. He took twice as many shots as Kevin Durant. That cannot happen, and that's why you're not going to win if that happens.
No, well, that's your problem right there. I love Westbrook. I love his game, but he ain't no point guard, though.
Yeah, that's true. And listen, he's electrifying. I mean, he may be the most athletic point guard in NBA history this side of a healthy Derrick Rose. But still in all, when you have a guy like Kevin Durant, you got to get him the basketball and make sure that he's the aggressor. And that's not what's happening.
Yeah. Now let's make this clear. When D Rose come back, let's please understand clear in a way who the most athletic point guard is in the NBA. The best point. Go ahead.
To me, it's Derrick Rose. But Russell Westbrook's athleticism can rival anybody's, man. I mean, his athleticism is off the charts. He just doesn't run he's not the quintessential point guard that like Derrick Rose can be. So that's how I look at the West, because, I mean, you got the Lakers. I mean, listen, I don't want to talk about the Lakers, man. You losing to the Washington Wizards after having an 18-point lead. Well, I mean, what's there to talk about? And in the East, you know, even though I expect Miami to make that kind of noise, I can't ignore the fact that Indiana. And you know, the Knicks have now won 4 in a row since Melo's come back. They've beaten Miami twice in the regular season. I don't see them beating Miami. Please don't get me wrong. I don't take drugs. I don't do that. So there's no way I would say.
Hey, Stephen A. Smith, stay right there. Hey, man, stay right there. We coming right back. More with Stephen A. Smith right after this. Don't nobody go nowhere. And we're going to find out what's happening with Kobe. And then I'm going to make the announcement that the best point guard in the league is actually Chris Paul. I'm going to make that announcement.
You just did.
I'll say what I want to say.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.